Mai Mori, everybody, and thank you for coming to the New Zealand Recruitment Centre. We welcome you. We thank you for coming. Tonight we've actually got the educational workshop, and this workshop, Awad was going to come and give it tonight. He's from the Ministry of Education. He's just given his apologies this afternoon. So we've got Nick, who knows a bit about it, that will talk about it. You see all the printouts are here. And before we start, we're going to say a prayer just to bless us, bless the group. So we'll ask Kathy, please, if you can speak in Kituman and pray for us. Please.
Let's bow our heads and pray. Gracias, vamos a extender su mano. Gracias, peace. Right now, walk with the Lord of the Sea, and open this to us, Lord. Gracias, maximum point to this morning. Dari nada pati ismo, obang disera na masuk na foto yung ismo. Kapag sa kasama ni Sir Niya Pinaccio, pero mo ito mismo niya, kung isa mo gusto, tututus ka mismo ito niya mismo si Pinaccio. Si Pero ito na yung Pinaccio finulungan. Memang kikira sa mismo foto na iya Pinaccio na pinipiliya, kaya iila ko lang mismo. Nakikita mo sulo mga mismo. Mungkin misalnya saya yang tas tu, tas mama nak dosa tu suka store tu misalnya seperti misalnya yang sedma.
Amen. For Kathy. Okay, maybe before we start, we'll go around introducing ourselves, and we'll start from the gorgeous David.
So what do you want to know?
Name and
anything
else you want to say about recruitment language week?
Yeah, okay. David Roby, I'm a retired teacher and write a lot about education issues, so I'm great to be here and looking forward to learning quite a lot. Thanks.
Which country are you from originally?
Yeah, I'm Del, originally from Philippines. I've lived here for a long time, but I still think of my original country. It's nice to be here, mainly because I've lived in the Pacific for a long time, Fiji and Papua New Guinea, and so I feel like I'm also in the Pacific, because Philippines is also in the Pacific ring. And we have similar cultures, and I enjoy interacting with people with similar cultures and different cultures. So thank you, and thank you again.
My name is Cheryl. I'm originally from Zimbabwe, and growing up in New Zealand, I realized that how multicultural it is, and enjoy being out in the community, meeting other people from different cultures, taking part in things like lots of languages.
I'm Rosalind. I'm from Papua New Guinea. Yeah. Oh, you guys. Sorry, I'm sarcastic. But yeah, I'm Kichu. I work with. Yeah, with everyone.
Kia ora, I'm James. I'm Cook Island, so born and raised in New Zealand. But I've been working with this hub for a while, so I think it's an opportunity to get to know everyone and to really blend our cultures together and learn from each other. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I'm Gondar. I'm from Fiji. I came here 10 years ago. I like New Zealand very much by having a lot of people mix around and multicultural things like that. That's all I could say today. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Jashika. I'm Fijian Indian, but born and raised in New Zealand. I go to school at Pabatoi, Aotearoa College, and I like bonding with other cultures and people, different type of people.
Victoria, maternal son of Fijian, so I was born in Fiji, so I've been here 30 plus years, so yes, so welcome. And I am learning my language and my identity, so, and this is one way for me to celebrate returning language with everyone else too. That's it.
Thank you. And my name is Nick. I was born in Fiji and I've been in New Zealand since 1988. Long time.
Hi Maury, my name is Rachel Mario. He's my boyfriend, Vic. And thank you. Yes, I'm excited about Rotuman Language Week because we had to fight to get it. The government was not giving that to us. But anyway, I managed this hub and I'm also the chair of the Rotuman group. So thank you again.
大家好 my name is Susan. I've been working in the tertiary education for 10 years in New Zealand. Originally, I came from China, but I've been here for more than 20 years. So I understand, like knowing don't forget your original language and also culture is very important, not just for our generation, but for the generation after, next generation and after. So I'm also a mother. Of 2 sons. So this is also bothering me for how can we not forget where we come from, heritage, the culture and the language, like Rotuman. So that's why I come here to learn, like a parental session to learn how, we can just get the children, to learn our original language and never forget where we come from.
Leave the door open with just a lock over so that they can close the door. Thank you, Susan. Sorry about the disturbance.
My name is Tina Langa. I was born in Whanau but raised in Fiji. Here from 1988. And lovely to be here tonight.
I'm Milton, originally from Goa in India, and I love this multicultural environment. And this charming woman next to me is my wife. No, you're charming.
I'm Audrey, and I enjoy meeting different cultures, and thanks to my teacher who introduced me to the Rotuman community. Never knew about Rotuman before.
Hello, I'm Odin from Argentina. I'm grateful to be here tonight, so thanks to Rachel. I'm studying and playing rugby here, and playing chess 2 minutes ago.
Hi, my name is Bautista. I'm from Argentina. I live in the north of Argentina. The name of my city is Salta. I stay here playing rugby and enjoy all the days with Ezequiel. He only speaks Spanish, but he enjoys it with me. And thank you, Rachel, very much.
My name is Ezequiel. I'm from Argentina. Thank you.
My name is Felix. I go to St. Paul's College. And I like going to school because I get to interact with everyone. Yeah.
Thanks, yeah. My name is Catherine, and I was born in Fiji and raised in Rotuman, and I just recently moved to New Zealand 2 years ago. My name is Laura. I got Aotearoa. I enjoy going to meet other people and learn more about culture.
Hi, my name is David. I go to Aotearoa High School, and just glad to be here. Show up, help out.
My name is Daniel. I go to St. Paul's College at Prince, and I came here to help the boxes.
So thank you very much. So just those who are not sure, there's toilet behind us in the corner, and there's a kitchen there if you want drinks, and there's drinks there as well, and we're going to have a meal afterwards. So join us for a meal. Rachel's been busy cooking today. We actually set up our little kitchen there today, so she's been cooking curry and so homemade meal today.
Curry and curry and curry.
2 years of takeaway, so we started to do some homemade meals recently. Yeah, 2 years of getting fatter and fatter. So thank you once again. So this is a program that is sponsored by the Ministry of Education, and what the ministry has been doing for the last, I think 13 or 15 years is trialing, or not trialing, actually running a program called Talanoa, which is for Pacifica families and groups. And what it is supposed to be doing is helping the families and the caregivers to understand what and how to access resources from the ministry and from the schools to help children learn better. And there's many parts to it. Some of it is covered in this program, which I'll briefly run through. And 2 years ago, somebody decided that, oh, we should give this program to other communities, not just Pacifica. So they did a trial for some of the ethnic communities, including Filipino, Korean, Chinese, Indian, and African. And I was approached 2 years ago to see if I wanted to run one for our communities. So we were sort of in the pipeline. So when the trial finished for the non-Pacifica communities, they approached us last year and said, "Hey, would you like it?" So yes. So this is what it is. So they give us some money to run this program, to provide the venue, the food, and any other expenses we have. And so today, Awad, who is the program manager, was going to come today. And we've been working on this for 3 months to get this right. And unfortunately, he couldn't come today. He got sick this morning, and we thought it would be inappropriate for him to come in case we had something more serious and we passed it on. Because he wasn't sure whether he had COVID or not. So I said to him, just stay home and I'll do the first little bit that I... And so today I thought we'll just keep it very brief. So next week we're going to have him coming and doing his PowerPoint on the TV and doing his little bit on the introduction and overview. So that's basically, I've just told you what this first part here on the week 1. It's a 10-week program. The idea is for parents to enroll so that they can help their children through the process of getting educated. And what they found is that a lot of families, those parents or people who were born overseas, the solution in Fiji, for example, where I come from, is you send your children to school and that's it. You've done your duty as a parent. And now it's the school and the teachers to look after the children and educate them. Our job is to just provide a house, send them to school and feed them. And whereas here, it's not that. It's a lot more interaction, and we need to, as parents, be completely engaged with the children and with the school. So you've got to engage with the children, ask them how it's going, keep an eye on them, time management at home, supporting them with homework, and understanding how to engage with the school and communicate with the school, and also understand how to navigate when you have parents-teachers interviews, which I think you just had one yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah?
St. Paul's.
Yeah, St. Paul's. So you know how to engage with the teachers, to get the best out of the teachers, and how to read the reports, and more importantly for the higher school education, how to understand what NCA is, and how to choose the right subjects to get the right number of NCA points, so that if your child is wanting to go further in education, to say higher education in universities and further, which are the appropriate and correct subjects to choose. And we have a number of teachers here today, so we're very blessed. But rather than go through this, which I'm no expert in, I thought today maybe we'll ask each of you, especially those that are parents, to just give us, and children I suppose, to get us, we'll wait till Tina answers a phone call from the Prime Minister and then we will continue. Yeah, so And maybe we should put our phones on silent. No, it's okay. We can take our phone calls. We'll just take a pause. But when our comes next week, if you're here, please put your phones on silent as a sign of respect for the guest. And so maybe what we'll do is we've done the intros. Just have a informal discussion and maybe go around. Those who want to, you don't want to, you don't have to. What we want to ascertain is what are the challenges you're having as parents or as students, and how we can fix those. You know, and so the ministry really wants also to know what it is you're having trouble at school with, or you find school. My daughter is not here, but she says school is boring. You know, why is it boring, and you know, how can we make school better? But also parents, what are the challenges you have as parents? And so there's a 10-week program. So we've got to get more parents enrolled next week, so that we have at least 25, adults enrolled. And what we thought we'd do is we'd maybe give everyone a voucher to attend. So those of you who attend, most probably give you a $20 voucher to help you out, give you a transport to get here. And also, I had an idea that as an incentive for those who are coming, we can maybe every time you come, it's over 10 weeks, it's a bit of a commitment, but it's a good investment for those parents, because small price to pay to get your children doing better at school, which is most probably what all parents want. But also those who turn up, maybe we put you into an entry, so if you do 10 of these, you get 10 entries into a trip to Fiji.
Wow.
Yeah, how's that?
Very good
And
incentive.
if you don't want to go to Fiji, then we can choose some other more boring country. But those of you who haven't been to Fiji, it's the place to be sometimes.
Nick.
Yes.
Maybe before we discuss about interviews and stuff, can I just share a little bit about my experience in teaching primary school here?
Sure.
Before I stopped teaching, I was working with St. Joseph's Primary School in Guilin. And we had lots of Pacific students and lots of problems as well. One problem, which is a main problem actually, is children coming to school without eating breakfast. So the school has to provide something to eat, because children without breakfast do not learn very well. They fall asleep or not concentrating, and sometimes very fiddly or something like that. So I think it is important for the parents to remember that having a good breakfast is very good for learning. The other thing too that I learned when I was there is a lot of parents both parents work very early or late at night as well, because of the shifting. If you are working in the factory or in the hospital or somewhere else, and children most of the time are left alone, and so they just buy takeaways or make their own dinner or breakfast, whatever. And most likely the children are, of course, they just get the easiest way to feed their tummies. And takeaways, as we know, I'll be very blunt, mostly junk food, because there's lots of fat in there and they are not nutritious. Some of them are, but basically, you know what it is like with junk food. And so that affects as well the learning of the children. And the other thing too that I want to point out is, because the parents are not around, no one to help them with homework. And so if the child is not very motivated, or the child really needs help, there's nobody to help. And the other thing too is the discipline, because there's no one to guide the child and probably teach a child that is not appropriate, or this is how you behave or respect others, things like that. Sometimes it's missing, and it's very sad that a lot of children, because of probably money is not enough for one parent to work, because you have to pay the rent and everything else that go with it. And I'm just very aware that because of the rising prices, I think that those problems that I highlighted are still existing and probably worse. So when it comes to parents' interview, a lot of parents do not come, and so they don't get to know what's happening to their child in school, and they don't get to know what sort of help the children need. And it's sad to say that because this is happening, sometimes it creates problem, because the more the children do not cannot cope up with school activities, the more they become like a nuisance or naughty or doing something else, because their minds are not how can I put it?
Functioning.
They're not necessarily naughty children, but they want some attention, and so they create things that will call attention, whether it is good or bad. Yes, we have to think about these things.
Yeah, so there's that part there is quite challenging.
Yes.
And it's quite generalizing to say, it's a very hard one to solve. And I don't think anyone has an answer for that.
Yeah.
So the problem is this one here, this program is for the parents who are engaged or who want to engage.
Yeah.
We can't help the world solve its problems with food, which is quite sad. But it's one of the things is, there's nothing to do with this, but there are school lunches being given to all the decile 1, 2, 3, 4 schools. And I think that's trying to address that issue we have. But we also have a truancy issue, they call it truancy. Half the children are not going to school on a particular day. So that's another issue. My daughter didn't go to school today, so I shouldn't.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
So I agree. So on this program here, some of those things you mentioned are being covered, including you see in week 9, it's parental awareness and knowledge, and the paradigms of parenting, mentoring, and partnership with schools. So the schools usually do understand what's going on, but there's a limit where they can't go any further. So so today what we're going to do is we've done the introductions, we've done the getting to know you by introducing ourselves. The open forum is now, as Dale has started it already. So if there's, maybe you can just go around for 2 minutes, and if anyone wants, you don't have to, you can skip it. If you want to just tell us what, if any challenges some of you have found while you were in school, or as parents, the issues you have, so we can cover it. My job is to make some notes, so I'll make some notes.
How about we hear from the kids? What are your challenges at school?
Anything we can do as parents to help you better?
You need more extra tuition classes? Wow. I love it.
Because some of them it's their first year at high school, so they just settling in. So
Is year 8? Okay, still heading into high school. What about you, David?
I'm fine.
Perfect, love it.
Growing up back on the island, corporal punishment is not that hard. So the way we learn and do things there is different from the way this young generation is doing things. So at times teaching them manners is very hard, especially that you can't smack them. So you'll just have to repeat yourself maybe more than 10 times in a way that they will understand. So, but other than that, I see them doing their schoolwork, especially the little one. The 3 elder one is sometimes, but I can see that they all love going to school. I don't receive any complaints from them. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good.
Yeah, so teachers who've been convicted in Fiji recently for smacking the children.
I remember when I was in school and he would whack you. And
after
that's
that,
it.
you have to say thank you, sir. Shake hands.
And you sat down with a sore bottom.
One of my friends used to.
But it
always
happened
put
again the
cardboard.
next day.
One of my friends used to always put cardboard all the time because he'd always get hit, so he was ready.
No, he knew the wallet trick. He would say, remove all your wallets.
How about the boys? They want to say something about school? Even the rugby school? Any challenges?
What was doing online
Let's talk about New Zealand,
classes?
if you don't mind. We'll stick to the New Zealand subject.
You're good?
Yeah. No, we need to talk about the program.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm also the school board member for Point Shack School, the primary school. So compared to the low decile, low rating schools, we have, 10 decile, which is, the top. But again, doesn't mean that we don't have issues for students. So we find out, even though they have Happy Valley, which means 3 meals and everything, but again, we're still sourcing some, like they have mental issues for some of the students. So we are actually trying to lobbying all the parents to donate more so that we can have a part-time counselor on site to help the students with mental stress, or this one could be causing from the family or from the class, and also those invisible bullying still in school, even though we tend not to say it, but again you can feel it. Yeah, so and also those ones the students tend to not tell the parents. If it's you got bruises, of course you can show up, but not for that. Yeah, so it's just those invisible ones that could also causing stress and mental issues for the kids. So I just want to add that.
Yeah, so
Thanks, Susan.
thank you. So the bullying and
Bullying.
So how's the bullying in school? Still a problem?
No bullying? Oh, that's good.
Okay.
No bullying. There's a language, like we have a language barrier. The university brings international students from Burma and Sri Lanka, and their biggest drawback is English is not their first language. So they really struggle, and they have like solo moms, and they have children. They have no idea how the school system works.
They find it very difficult to write their assignments.
Yeah. So
You mean the children?
the children of the students. So then international students, they're just left to fend for themselves. So we like to help them and tell them how the education system works.
Good point. So these students are on their own?
Yeah, like the Sri Lankan universities send their lecturers to Auckland Uni to do their PhD, and it is compulsory, otherwise they cannot continue their career there. So they are forced to come here, and the immigration that is not considerate. Like every year they have to renew their visa, where they have to show 10,000 in their bank account. And it's so hard because PhDs don't have time to work that much, and to show 10,000 every year, they have to borrow from colleagues, and it's really hard. And 4 years it goes on. It's a 4-year study, then they have to extend to the 5th year.
I think it is a struggle if you come from an educational system where your first language is not English, and if you are not used to writing assignments.
Okay. Tina, you want to comment? Yes, Rocky was born here.
And you went to Max?
Yeah, you went.
Oh, another thing I want to bring it up is just how to control their computer, iPad, iPhone time.
So that subject is covered in I can't remember which week, but I do remember it was covered in 2 of these sessions. So one is on the week 6, Friday the 16th of June, digital literacy and online safety, and what roles parents play in digital technology. And there's also about time management somewhere here, where we've got to limit time and time management so that they spend time doing homework and other schools projects.
I'm not sure if it's a challenge. It's not a challenge, because like I'm very laid back. Like this morning, Gabriella said, "Mom, I don't want to go to school. I'm very cold." So I said, "Oh yeah, Mom, you can stay home. Don't worry about it. You'll catch up tomorrow, next week." So, but having said that, it's really bad because she missed out the classes today and the upcoming homework. But I've emailed the teacher and asked for it all to be sent. So hopefully we get that. The challenges in MAGS is it's actually a really big school, and yeah, language. Gabriella doesn't have any issues with language; she's fine. But I think extra classes, tuition at school would be good. What do you all think? Like maths and English writing, she's good at that, and science. Really, science subject is what I'd like her to take. That's what I want her to take. Whether she takes is another story. I'm not sure if it's a challenge. Do you have any?
For me personally, with my children, I'm sort of quite strict with how I was brought up in Fiji, but then New Zealand with the older kids. St. Paul's have covered sort of basically what we're sort of going to go through. So it's more a refresher for me because as I've got 3 older children, so I need to sort of not catch up, but be up to date with the changes. And same with working girls. So my children know, if they try and pretend that they're sick or things, I mean, they know Mum will send them to school. So yeah, so education for me, for my children, and also for the Pacific Island sort of culture, it's very important, for us, especially when they leave school. We want them to become something, and to embrace their identity, and so that's me.
Anyone else got any comments?
If I remember,
Can we just
sorry,
finish
go
up?
ahead.
You've got some comments to make about school and anything you think the school can do better?
I'm okay.
You're okay? No comments?
I think from my experience in high school, I think because I myself I went to Auckland Grammar, and of course it's a big school, and there's a very small percentage of Pacifica students, and I think one of the challenges there was that the Pacifica students they struggled to make their voices known or to speak out. So they were I think the language, like the culture, the different cultures made it difficult for them to really integrate into the school life, and also for them to generally just ask for help. So I think, and I think it really made a difference for those that were ready to speak out more. They were the ones that really succeeded, whereas those that didn't really speak out much, they struggled. So I think not only the teacher support, but also the student support also helps them. So if they were to even form groups, friendship groups that can help them to do their homework together, or maths, or even extra tuition, students helping students.
Yeah.
Any comments? I'd just like to add with everyone saying, as I'm thinking that, as a community, Pacifica, we just don't sit down and communicate like this, like parents and children. I think everything starts at home. So yeah, I feel like if maybe every day if you sit down and ask your kid, like you said, we always want our kids to succeed. And education is really important, but do you even ask them that? Like, I'll Google.
Oh yeah, they know my children. I do. And if they don't,
I mean, not just you.
No, but
She's saying generally.
Yeah.
She's
Right,
making a general statement
yeah,
that the
yeah,
Pacifica
yeah.
problem is that we
just don't sit down and
communication.
communicate.
Yes, yeah.
And I think it's kind of taboo, like, you can't tell,
And that's that's right.
That's really sad.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's sad.
Open communication is a challenge.
What I would contribute is a little similar. I think growing up in the New Zealand schooling system, I was often the only African in the group that I was in. And I think if the children around me were never polite or anything, but I think it's because they didn't know about different cultures. naturally they were curious, but it didn't always come across that way. Like it was hard to ask questions, and they didn't have I guess what I'm trying to say is that if we made it more intentional to be inclusive in school environments, so that all children, regardless of where they're from, felt safe to be themselves, and then also they were encouraged to like find out about other cultures, because curiosity comes naturally to children, so it should be like supported so they can learn more about themselves and other people, and just create a comfortable environment for everyone involved.
I was gonna say that in the school where I worked at, that was a long time ago anyway, the children who had problems with English, like reading or spelling, there's a special teacher that takes them out from the class and have 30-minute session just to catch up. That used to be my work, get the student and do a bit of catch up for like reading, or if there is a problem with reading or something else. I'm not quite sure whether they still do it now.
They do.
And at the end of the classes in the afternoon, some of the children stay half an hour for other catch up on other lessons.
It's teacher aid. They still do have
And
it.
they still do. They still do. That's good.
Thank you, Dal.
Yeah, the ministry does a lot of work, so that's one of the things this is supposed to cover, is to let the parents know what other programs are available for their children and how to engage better and ask for that from the school. The biggest challenge for most people who are not born here, and especially Pacifica people, is, as you've said, is the lack of communication, or not being too humble, and being very quiet and not being
assertive.
assertive. Or feeling that maybe if you question, then your child may be punished, or you may be thought to be not so smart. All those challenges, these are part of the things that they're trying to overcome. I tell you, in the last 3 years, it's been huge leaps. That's why the children, I'm genuinely saying it's okay. It's a big difference from, say, when you guys were in school to now. You know, there's a big jump. Kids are usually quite happy. Not always, but teachers are much more
Down to earth and more approachable.
Yeah, am I correct?
You can like speak to them. Yeah.
They're more friendly. They're
Friendlier. Not like
bullies.
Not like the priests.
And the nuns.
So
the
yes.
nuns were good to us in Victoria. We had very good nuns.
So just very quickly, the program is here. I'm not going to read it because you can all read it. So next week is hopefully one of the ministry people can come, and they will do the proper intro, not my uneducated intro here. But the last week is also very good. It's a visit, hopefully to a marae. But we'll have
Which marae?
one of the marais will come and talk. I'm not sure. Awad would have told us all that if he came today. But there's more. If there's not a visit, at least they'll talk about the treaty. So that's the final one. So yeah, that's about it really. Anyone wants
Any
to
other
before we have some
questions?
dinner?
Any add-ons, David and
Oh, by the
Charlie?
way, if you have anyone who you think, any parent especially, it's mainly for parents, who you think will benefit from this, so please
Bring them along.
or give Rachel the name so we
Next
can.
session.
So we're gonna next week we're gonna start enrolling people properly. So if anyone really wants to carry on, we're gonna have to enroll at least 20, 30 people.
Yeah, so bring them along so they can win a trip to Fiji.
No, but we need to enroll people.
I want to go to Fiji right now. David and Charlie, you got anything to add on before we close off?
I'm fine, thanks. That's great.
Charlie?
I'm gonna follow you.
Okay, that's great. Anyone else wants to say something? Okay, so we will close. Thank you all for coming. Nick, you got anything else to add on before I close up? For everybody for coming, for making the time, for helping out this afternoon, all our youth, our gorgeous youth. For Yexia, once again, we will see you all again next Friday. Please, there's dinner served after this, and all the youth will do the dishes. Hey, I'm just kidding. Don't forget to give Rick your details, because I think you all will get a $20 voucher.
There's a little.
So make sure you write all your details down. With this voucher, $20, you can negotiate with Uncle Nick, all of you, whether it's cash or voucher. So at the end
I'm not
of...
allowed to give cash.
Oh, so she's not allowed to give
The
cash.
government of New Zealand doesn't like that.
Maybe you can swap with your parents if you get the $20 voucher. They give you, yeah. Anyway, but thank you once again. We'll close off with a prayer. I'd like to ask, please ask.
Rotuman prayer.
No, just any prayer. Can we ask Felix, please, son, to close off with a prayer, my love?
Dear God, thank you for bringing us all here today. Thank you for keeping us all safe as we done our workshop today. Lord, we pray that you keep us all safe on our way back home. We pray that you bless the food we're about to receive. And we bless you. We pray that you bring us all back here next week safely. Amen.
Amen. Well, yes, dear Felix. Now, I need some help with the dinner. We'll serve dinner now.